In the ever-changing world of digital tools, Google Docs is still the go-to for working together in Word documents. Today, we are checking out the latest stuff Google has dropped to make our document creation even better. Let's dive in now. Your documents are stored in your Google Drive, and your Google Drive is associated with your Google account. You can access your Google Docs and any other workspace applications on any device when you log into Google with your email and password. To start a new Google Doc, you can select the blank document or select from the template gallery. The template gallery will show you already created Google Docs that you can simply put your information into. Your recently opened Google Docs will be listed under Recent Documents in Google Docs. We are going to edit an already created Google Doc. Meeting notes and agendas provide great documentation and records of the meeting that your team had, while also providing a clear and focused agenda and outline of what will be discussed during the meeting. Notes and agendas also keep the meeting organized while being courteous of everyone's time. Here are the meeting notes from our meeting. Before sending it out to my team, the first thing I'm going to do is create a title by clicking on Untitled Document. We are going to call this Meeting Notes and then the date. Now that we've created our title, let's make our notes look a little bit more appealing. We're going to highlight the title of our meeting notes and we are going to select Apply Title. Adding a style to your Google Docs helps add a visual appeal to your document. By highlighting, we can make changes just to that line or row of text. We're going to add our subtitle. Now I want to add a drawing to my Google Doc. We're going to select Insert, Drawing, New. We're going to click on Line because I just want to have a line under my title. And then we're going to save and close. And there it is. There is that line from my title. You can adjust it, you can move it, you can edit, and go back and change the line again. As we continue to update and edit our meeting notes, we can select multiple headings by highlighting and holding down the Control key. Then we can add the same formatting to those headings. We're going to apply heading 1 for these and continue on. Highlight, highlight, and we are going to make that our second heading. Highlight, highlight, heading 1. You can highlight full sections of your document and add a bulleted list. For our action items, we are going to make that a numbered list. You can continue highlighting different sections, and you can also change the size of the font. Highlight the section and change the font size. You can also use the paint format option. We've highlighted this notes section, and we are now going to click on Paint Format and highlight another section. The second highlighted section is going to have the exact same formatting as the previous section. And again, highlight a section, paint format, then highlight another section. Now that we've gone over bullets, changing the font, updating the styles, format painter, and sizing, if you also have sections of your meeting notes that you really want to stand out, such as next week agenda, we can bold and underline. If you have a more casual document or notes, you can also add emojis. Select Insert, scroll down to Emoji, and select the emoji that you'd like to add to your document. Google Docs also has many tools that can help enhance your document, such as using the dictionary or define tool. You can highlight a word, right-click, define, and you will see the definition of the word and synonyms if you would like to find a different word. When collaborating with the team, you may also want to link other documents and sites in your Google Docs. You can do this by simply highlighting, insert link, and then pasting that link and selecting apply. Adding a link is a good way to add a presentation to your action items or in your meeting notes. You can now see that our presentation from Canva has been added to our Google Doc. Anyone that has access to our Google Doc can click on the link and now view our Canva presentation. Now that we've completed formatting our meeting notes, before we share them out, let's add some building blocks. Building blocks allows you to add drop-downs and organize other products within your Google Doc. You can access the building block by selecting Insert, Building Block. Here you can insert other meeting notes, an email draft, or even a calendar invite. You can access the same building blocks by entering an @ symbol, or you can also reference or link calendar events so that your team knows exactly which meeting this refers to. Let's do that now. To link a meeting or calendar event, hit the @ symbol and then scroll down to that calendar event. This does have to be events that are in the future. Now this meeting is associated with the notes here. This is also only for meetings and events that are in Google Calendar. Google Calendar events can be linked directly into Google Docs. Google Docs also allows you to digitally share your document with other people. Only people you share your document with can see it. You can share your document by selecting Share. You can type in the name of the email or simply type in their name. You can add a message, or you can select to not notify them. If you have a wide group of people that you would like to send your document to, you can simply copy the link. You can copy this link and share it in an email or a chat messaging system such as Google Chat. To manage how people see your document, set the permissions. Select whether you want them to be able to view the document where they can read it but not make any changes or comments. Select to commenter so that they can comment on your document but not directly edit it. If you would like someone to be able to make changes to the agenda and insert meeting notes during the actual meeting, you will want to give them the permission to edit. We can also make adjustments to the settings when we share. We can do this by hitting Share and then select the Settings gear. This is where we can decide if we want people to be able to download, print, make copy of our documents, and also if the editors can change permissions to share. I'll give an example of this. I'm going to share this with this person, and I want them to be an editor. I only want them to edit the document. I don't want them to be able to make a copy of it, print it, or download it. I also don't want them to change the permissions. That way, this person can make any edits or changes to the existing document, but they cannot add additional people to share this with. If you do not make this adjustment, people can make copies of your document. That copy will go directly into their drive. Once you're done making your adjustments, hit send. Comments in Google Docs allows you to leave reminders for yourself, add items you would like someone to notice and respond to when they look at your document. Comments stand out from text of the document. They are easy to see without having to read the entire document. To start, we're going to highlight a text where we would like to add a comment. We're going to highlight our agenda and then select comment. We're now going to post our comment. Here you can also select to delete your comment if you no longer need it and get a direct link to the comment, or you can edit it. You can also tag individuals on that comment directly. This will send them an email to pay attention or to view your comment. To view all comments, you will simply just click on Open Comment History up at the top, and you will see all the comments from that document. You can see if the comment's been resolved or reply to the original commenter. Now let's walk through how to use building blocks to create meeting notes from an event in our calendar. We're going to select a day on our calendar. Now that we've created our event, our team meeting, we've selected our date, our time, our attendees that we will join by Google Meet, and we've also attached a lesson plan to this meeting. You can add a description over what your meeting is about to let your team know what to expect. You can create meeting notes for the event directly in your invite. We're going to wait on that for now. So now that we've created the event, we're going to hit save, and we can now see that new event on our calendar. Let's create meeting notes for that upcoming meeting. We can create new meeting notes directly through the calendar event by clicking on Meeting Notes. As you can see, when you do this, this document will be shared with all of your guests, even people outside your organization. So if you're not ready for your team or your guests to have access to the notes just yet, we can create meeting notes in Google Docs prior to the team meeting and send them out later. Let's open a blank doc now. When creating a new Google Doc, you can navigate to the waffle and select Docs, or in the address bar, simply type docs.new and hit enter. This will automatically open a brand new Google Doc for you. As you can see at the top, these are our building blocks. Building blocks is a built-in template to help you track projects, document meeting notes, or create new emails. Building blocks is only available in Google Docs. You can access building blocks by selecting Insert and maneuvering down to Building Blocks. This is where we can see our meeting notes, email draft, calendar event, and other building blocks. But for a new document, you will see them up at the top. We're going to select Meeting Notes. After selecting Meeting Notes, you will see some of the future events from your Google Calendar. I would like to create meeting notes for the team meeting event that I've created for tomorrow. After selecting that, we will see the name of the event, the date, the attendees of the meeting, any documents that I've attached, which is my lesson plan, and we can now begin taking notes for this meeting. It automatically generates to have action items. We can enter action items that we create during our meeting. You can create them as a list that can be checked off. To do so, you will simply highlight, just hit the checklist option. First action item is for Ms. Smith to plan a field trip. Once Ms. Smith completes that, she can check it and we will see that it is crossed out. You can add action items during the meeting as needed. Every time you hit enter, a new checkbox will be available. If you do not want to have the checklist, you can select for it to be a bulleted list or listed in a numbered order. Once everyone has access to the meeting notes, they will simply select and check off their action item. Google Docs has implemented many different building blocks to help with efficiency. After clicking on Insert Building Blocks, we will see all of them listed here. We can create a new calendar event. So if you would like to add maybe your follow-up meeting to your current meeting notes, you can do that here. You can also use this to help plan an event, such as the starting point of planning a field trip for your school. You can select the day and a time, and then the place. Google will allow you to just begin typing in the name, and you can find options near you. So we now have the starting points of planning a field trip to the Atlanta Zoo on February 1st. This will create a calendar event, and you can even preview it in your calendar. Building Blocks also has a review tracker. This is great when you are doing peer reviews with your students. Often you put your students in a small group and they will review each other's work or assignments. You can use this template and add each student. The reviewers can add notes and feedback to help with the review process. To add more, just simply click on the plus. Another useful building block is the product roadmap building block. You can add a product roadmap by selecting Insert, Building Blocks, Product Roadmap. Here we can enter our project, the status of the project, and the files related. A project roadmap provides a visual guide for students outlining key milestones, tasks, and deadlines. This will enhance collaboration amongst the students and also a way for you to provide notes and feedback. Students can change and manipulate this table to best fit their project. If they would like to name it their geology project and then list out each part of the project to assign to a different student, they're able to do so. In the related files, they can attach a file that's in their drive or they can link a video. So we now have a YouTube video that the student can use in their project, and they've already shared it with their team and their teacher. As the students work on collaborating and completing the table, the teacher can comment on different parts of it to provide feedback. Each student can enter notes on where they're at. To help make all of our lives simpler, We can create our own custom building block. If you have a table or a worksheet or something that you use regularly or even for your lesson plans, you can make that a building block. Let's make a quick simple one now. Something that was always used when I was in school, KWL charts. You can make these charts. Once you've created your chart and added as much detail or as little detail as needed, you'll just highlight, right click, and at the bottom you'll see Save as Custom Building Block. Here, this is where we will name our building block. You do not have to give a description, but you can, and then hit Create. To access our custom building block, enter the @ symbol, building blocks, custom building block, and now you will see any building block that you've created. If you need to edit your building block, you can go back to building blocks, custom building block. You can hit edit custom building block. This will open your building block in a new tab. After you have created and saved a custom building block, Google Drive will automatically create a custom building block folder. You'll see here in my Google Drive a custom building blocks auto-generated folder. Just like any folder, you can edit, organize, and move this. You will now see the 3 custom building blocks that I've created. You can click on the 3 dots and share these with other people. And you can open them in Docs to edit the document. As a teacher, I have a custom building block for a field trip approval. I can share this with my co-teachers so that they have the access to have the exact same building block. And I'm going to open it in Google Docs to make my edit. As you modify your building block, it will automatically save in your Google Drive. So this building block used to say title, but I now want it to say location. And I'm going to remove where it says location. And then at the top, I'm going to give it a title. You can continue to expand, such as adding an additional table to our template if needed. Such as now we're going to add a table requesting the information for how many buses, how many students, and how many adults we'll have on our field trip request. Just like any other Google Doc, this will automatically be saved in our drive. So now every time we access this custom building block for the field trip request, it will look just like this, and we can edit from our Google Drive whenever we need. Google has recently implemented Smart Chips into Google Docs. To access Smart Chips, enter the @ symbol, and then you can scroll down to Smart Chips. Smart Chips can also be found by hitting Insert and selecting Smart Chips. One of the most useful Smart Chips that are now available is Stopwatch. By hovering over the time, you can begin the stopwatch, pause it, or reset it at any point in time. Classroom teachers will sure love this new timer option. If you want to set a 5-minute timer for your classroom, you can do so. By clicking in the box with the numbers and begin typing, we can select how long we want our timer to be, from 20 minutes or 2. And now we will have a 2-minute timer. You can also pause and reset at any point in time. To remove the timer, right-click and delete. Smart Chips can let you enter today's date, hit add, and enter a person. This will send a notification directly to that person. Now that document is shared directly with them. There's also a voting Smart Chip. By entering the @ symbol, scrolling down to voting chip, we can then select different emojis. We can copy and paste the same voting chip into each cell so we can make a chart. This chart will represent how the teachers would like to be appreciated on Teacher Appreciation Day. When we hit the @ symbol, and hitting voting chip. If we do not see one that we want, we can hit custom voting chip. Right click, copy. We can paste all the way down. Voting chips can also be inserted by selecting Insert, Smart Chips, Voting Chip. Now, as we send this out to our staff, they can simply click on which one they like. They can make their selection and vote by clicking on the emoji. Double-clicking will remove your vote. Smart Chips has a task option as well if you would like to assign a task to a coworker, a colleague, or even a student. If you want someone to check maybe your chart or what you're going to send out, you can just add the title of send out to team. Then we're going to enter the name of the person that we want to assign this task to, and then when you would like for them to complete this task by. Assign task. Once they have completed the task, they can select the checkbox button and it'll be marked out. By hovering over the initial circle, you can see the details of the assigned task, such as who assigned it, when is the due date, and who it's for. This is also where you can edit or delete the task. You can remove smart chips by right-clicking on the smart chip you've entered and hitting delete, or put your cursor behind your smart chip and simply hit the backspace. Using Google Docs, we can create worksheets and force the recipients to make a copy. Let's walk through that now. To get started, we're going to open up a new document. You can do that by typing in docs.new in the address bar or directly through your drive. I'm going to quickly create a worksheet. I'm going to do this through drawings. Just as we had created a line for our meeting notes, we can import a worksheet into Google Docs. In drawings, we can create our own worksheet, such as a mind map, by using the shapes for squares and circles and lines. If you have a shape you don't need, click on the shape and hit delete or backspace. If you have a shape that you like and you like that size, copy, paste. You can adjust the color, the outline of each shape, and the lines as well. If you do not want to make a worksheet yourself, you can import one. I'm going to import an image that I will use now as a worksheet. You can now see that an image that I took will be part of this assignment. Now the last thing I'll need is to create text boxes so the students can enter their answers. I like to check this as well. So I will make sure that the students have enough space. So using this font and this size, the students will be able to have enough space. And if you want to change the color, make it bolder, or change the size, you can. And so now we can see that the students will be able to enter that. And then I'm going to make it a couple sizes bigger, change the font color. And then now that I have the one that I want, copy, paste. So there's one there, one there. And now I'm going to do that throughout the entire assignment. I now have a labeling assignment for my students. I'm going to save and close. This assignment is now in my doc. And you can edit it at any point in time. We can still type in this document. We're going to give it a title. In our header, we have our instructions. And we've quickly made a worksheet for our students. Now, to give this to every student without them collaborating or working on the exact same document, we can easily make an adjustment to force copy it. You can force copy any doc, slide, or sheet by adjusting the URL. Put your cursor at the end of the address or URL where it says edit, slowly erase that, and type in copy. After typing in copy and hitting enter, this will force a copy to be made. So now anyone that has this address will have to make a copy. So this is the address or URL you want to send out. So we'll copy that and you can send this in a chat or in your Google Classroom. I will show you what this looks like now. When the student or colleague hits make a copy, a new copy will be automatically created and put in their Google Drive, just like this. You will see copy of parts of a cell. If you like, you can have the students adjust this and put their name on it for easier grading. As you can see, it is automatically in that student's drive. The student can now go and edit the document. By double-clicking, it will open up drawings and they can enter their answers. When they're done filling in the assignment or making their labels, they will hit save and close. It is important to note that the student will have to give you access again, as the owner will be the person that made the copy. They will need to add their teacher. We're going to take that URL and post it in our class. This will not be a graded assignment, but maybe just a useful tool. We're ready to make our announcement. I'm going to make this for all students. Add link, and we will now see that they can label the parts of the cell. If we don't want this to be an announcement, we can make this an assignment, and we can also add this to multiple classes. Again, link, add link. Please make a copy. And we're going to post. Drawings and force copy can also be used when creating mind maps if you have a little bit more time. I have a note for my students at the bottom to show that they have to double click on this map to make adjustments. I've created text boxes in many different shapes to help them use a mind map for writing an article or completing a project. Again, we can go here, copy that URL, and I can paste that into an email or an assignment or simply in my Google Classroom again. We're going to add that link. We can post, I'm going to post this in all of my classes and post. We've now created a template that will be posted for all students, and they will have to make their own template. Google Drive has the ability to convert various files into Google Docs. We can do this by navigating to our Google Drive, uploading our files or folders. For now, I'm going to upload a folder. Once you have selected your folder, select Upload. We're going to upload and look at all the documents that are coming. As the files are uploaded into our Google Drive, you will see that they are uploaded into the exact file format that they are originally created in, such as PDF or Word. We can convert any file into a Google Doc. Select the three dots, Open With, and Google Docs. That document will now be moved to a Google Doc. To completely convert it, we will now select File and Save as Google Docs. We're going to close our previous one. You will now see that your document is a Google Doc and is still in the exact same folder. You can also convert PDFs. Keep in mind that sometimes the conversions from one document to another are not completely clear. We can convert a PDF here. As you can see, this PDF converted perfectly fine. There were no changes. And that document is also in our drive. Now let's try to convert this PDF. Now this PDF did not convert the way that we had hoped. As you can see, the pictures are no longer there. That is something to keep in mind when you're converting files. You can also convert a Google Doc back into a Word document or PDF. Just open up your Google Doc, select File, Download, and you can select PDF or Word doc. The File Explorer will open, and then you will see that your Google Doc is now being converted into a Word doc once we hit Save. And that's how you can convert files using Google Drive. When working in a shared document or collaborating on a project together, you may need to view the activity history. You can do this by clicking on the clock, and you can see the changes or edits that have been made. As we can see from one version to another, that the table has dramatically changed. By clicking on this little triangle, we can see who made what changes. The student in orange deleted an entire row. That must have been a mistake, and we can restore that. We can also see what edits everyone made. Like I, myself, the teacher, made edits in teal. So I've added a file or document for those students. We can see that the student in purple tagged another student, added a Google slide. As we hover over each color change, we can see who did what exactly. If you need to restore to a previous version, you will click on that, 3 dots, restore. Or you can make a copy for yourself if needed. I'm going to restore. We can now see that our table has all the columns and rows that it needed to have. In Google Docs, you will also need to share or limit access for the document from time to time. The owner is the person that created the document. An editor is someone that can edit at any point in time. Commenters can only comment, and a viewer can only view the document. If you wish to no longer be the owner of a document, you can transfer ownership, or if you no longer want them to have access, you will remove the access. If you want it open for anyone to access, change the general access along with what sort of access you'd like them to have by selecting the role, viewer, commenter, or editor, and then copy the link. Now that we've walked through sharing rules, looking at the activity history, and restoring the version, let's take a look at the activity dashboard. We'll do this by hitting Tools and scrolling down to Activity Dashboard. This will show us who has looked at our document and when did they take a look at it. So I've taken a look at this document within an hour, and so has this person. If you want to send an email about the document, just select the check, hit continue, enter your message, and hit send. Anyone that's looked at your document or you've shared it with will be listed right here. All viewers of all time will be right here. If you click on Viewer Trend, you can see when people were looking at the document. Let's make this adjustment to the last 7 days. I can see on this day I had 2 people, and on this day only 1. The comment trend will show the comments that have been put on the document. The sharing history, we can see that I provided this person editing access. I removed this person, added this person, removed these. This will go all the way back to the beginning of the document. You can also take a look at privacy settings. After you make your adjustments, hit save. This will also work with students. If you share a document with a student and you want to see if they've opened it, that'll be listed right here. When you're done, just hit the X at the top. Google has recently released the feature to gather e-signatures through a Google Doc. Once you've created your document, simply go to Tools and select e-signature. You're going to see the box pop open here on the right side. The top box is to manage your signers. You'll want to give each signer a name. You can add up to 10 signers. If you decide that you don't need one of the signers, simply hit the trash next to the name. Hit Save once you've added all the signers that you need, And now you're ready to request your signatures. Below the signer box, you'll see the fields that you're able to collect: signature, initials, name, and a text. You also have a auto-filled option for the date. So now we're going to request our first signature for the person of Alan. We're going to grab the signature option and put it right here. Then we'll grab date right next to it. As you see that it is this teal color, we know that that's for Alan. Now we're going to request one for Carl as well, and we'll see the purple. Now for Nikki, we only need initials. So we're going to grab initials, and then we're going to put that right here. So now we have a signature option for Alan, a signature option for Carl, along with the date, and Nikki only needs to initial. And we'll add a name field here as well. If you make a mistake and you no longer need one of the boxes or fields, you simply can click it and then hit delete after right-clicking. And you can move these boxes at any point in time before you request a signature. You can place signatures throughout the page. So now Nikki will need to sign under this paragraph here. Once you've made all your edits and you're ready to request signature, simply select Request e-signature. Now we're going to input email addresses for those that need to sign this. The email is how they'll be notified of what they need to do. I would also suggest adding a message. In this message, this can let people know that you're requesting a signature, why you need the signature, and the date of when it needs to be returned. Once you're ready, hit Request Signature. This will create a PDF in your Google Drive and send an email to anyone that needs to sign this. If you want to view the PDF, you can click on it here to view it in your Drive. So we can now see all the boxes where they need to sign and that it is pending a signature. Now let's take a look at the email they receive. Once the email request comes through, it will look something like this, stating who needs to sign and what's going on. We're going to select Open here, and then we're going to be redirected back to our Google Drive. Now, as a signer, I have the option to sign or reject. I'm going to go ahead and hit Sign. This is going to create a signature for me. As I type my name, we now see the signature. We're going to hit Adopt and Sign, and now there's my signature. As I scroll down here, we can see the initial field, and that is now there. Once I've made all my adjustments and signed where I needed to sign, I can hit Mark Complete. You must select this box and agree to terms of service before submitting the signature. Now that we've signed, we're going to get a copy of this, and we can again see this in our drive. We're going to close. Now let's head back to what that looks like. Now, as the person that created the document, we're going to head back to my drive to take a look at it. Now we can see that I still have some signatures pending, but one person has signed and initialed. Whenever I'm ready and I've collected all of my signatures, I can share this with my team or move it to a drive. This is a great way to collect signatures and then move it to a shared drive. You can always refer back to your PDF to check and see the status of the signatures. You can do this by opening your PDF and then selecting View Detail. We can now see that one person has signed and we are waiting on 2 other signatures. We can also see when they signed. If you decide you no longer need the signature, you can hit Cancel Request. We can see that these 2 people did not respond and that the e-signature was canceled. When the e-signature request is canceled, anyone that was on the document will also get an email stating that their signature is no longer needed. You can view this video and other JCPS Google resources at jcps.me/TLC and selecting Google for Education. You can also search our videos on our Digital Learning channel by clicking on Digital Learning channel or JCPS Quick Links Digital Learning channel. You can use the search option or find a playlist. By searching Classroom and hitting Enter, you will find all of our Google Classroom videos. Thank you for joining us in this Introduction to Google Docs training video.